Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back. Welcome back. If it's your first time, welcome home. If you made it from the podcast, I'm so glad you came over. And if you didn't, maybe you want to go check out that podcast. You can do it before or after. It doesn't really matter. I'll still be here. So let's get into this message. It's thundering outside, guys. So if my light goes out, I'll probably edit it out. There was a recent podcast, Neil deGrasse. I'll find the information and link it somewhere below. They talk about our perspective of an ant and how it's so small, right? It almost seems like it has no impact on our lives. But what if the designer, right, or the person coding, the individual, the entity, the intelligence that's coding this reality for us, if it's a simulation, right? Because everybody's playing with this idea. If it's a simulation, wouldn't they hide like something that would be like the most profound in something so small? So that makes me think about having the faith of a mustard seed. And I was talking to a client the other day and we talked about the idea. She said that's exactly where she's at, is the place where her faith may be the size of a mustard seed. And I thought about just how powerful that is, you know, when you're holding on to that last bit of faith that there's going to be a change. And the beautiful thing about that is that the mustard seed of faith is in your possession. And if we are just a droplet of an ocean of what is the collective, then it means that the potency of what's within that droplet is no different from when it's in the ocean. So faith, no matter what size, if it's the size of a mustard seed, it's still faith. And man, that got me fired up. You hear me? That got me so fired up. That got me so fired up. My heart is beating because I remember that moment when I felt like I had been broken open and that seed, the size of a mustard seed, that faith within me, it gave life to something that is like inexpressible. Inexpressible. So anyhow, let's get to it because I believe that might be where you're at right now. You're looking for what that change is. You can feel it, right? You feel it. And it may be showing up in your life. It may not be showing up. It probably is. You're probably just not paying attention. So we're going to take this moment to kind of dive into that and check on what the planets are doing and how that's impacting what everybody is kind of feeling right now. So you can make some sense of it. You're not alone. This is on a grand scale. People are battling the same challenges or inner demons, you could call them, outer demons, familial demons, generational demons. Um, but we're giving them a fight. We got our foot on their neck. So all praises go to the Most High because I know that that strength is not within me. I've been training for a long time, but it's not. So let's talk about Saturn's retrograde in Aries, right? It's just asking a simple question, which is who is leading your life, right? Are you the pawn in someone else's game? Have you handed over your authority? Or are you the one that is driving this vehicle, right? Who's actually making those decisions? Then Neptune retrograde is dissolving the stories that you've leaned into to avoid difficult truths. Think about that. I'm talking about years, decades even. Been leaning into these lies, stories that you've been telling yourself. that have been spun as a narrative for you. Because had you made the decision for yourself, would you have chosen that story? The fantasy is losing its grip, basically. That's what Neptune retrograde is here for. And I'm so grateful for it. Thank you, Neptune. Just literally ripped it open so that you could see what is in front of you. The veil has been lifted. And then Pluto retrograde in Aquarius. Man, this one is, like I said in the podcast, it's not here to destroy your life. It's not, I promise. It's exposing power dynamics that you've been participating in without even realizing it. When we talk about that narrative loop that you've been tied to by your community, whatever that might be, everybody has their own communities that they live in accordance to. That includes your career, not just relationships, includes friendships, families, communities, even with yourself, because it's a community within myself, because I'm speaking to myself. My thoughts are things. They're speaking to my cells. And my cells are the community that just keeps me going. That's funny. That song that reminds me of the little engine that could. I think I can. I think I can. I think I can. I think I can. And then he did. Didn't he? Every episode. Seen fire. So, oh, Jupiter. Jupiter's amplifying emotional awareness. So we're not becoming more sensitive. We're just dropping the responsibility of holding the emotional intelligence that we've been asked to hold back in order to suspend disbelief. You become less willing to betray yourself to keep everyone else comfortable. You just clocked out of the role. Like, wait, what? You expect me to do what for free? For how long? To check into this conversation every time where you do not choose your words, or perhaps you do choose your words to hurt and to diminish and to downsize. And then I have to show up and just take it over and over and over and over. No, absolutely not. So you're done playing these roles. I guess that's just one out of many roles, but to each his own. I mean, if it resonates, take it. If it doesn't, don't. The truth is asking to be acknowledged. What truth is asking to be acknowledged? Let me get 3 cards on that. Queen of Wands. King of Cups. Oh my God. Okay. Oh my God. There's actually 4 cards. Should I take them? Yeah, Spirit said take them. Okay, what came out was the 3 of Swords. It landed here. Between the Queen of Wands and the King of Cups. And then the card that was hidden was the Sun. Oh, thank you, God. That was the thunder outside, and I know that it's going to be pouring. Oh my God, it's already pouring, guys. Wow, what a blessing. All right, so what truth is asking to be acknowledged is that this is your energy. The Queen of Wands and the King of Cups. With the Queen of Wands, you are very aware of what direction you are feeling emboldened to move towards. With the King of Cups, you're also emotionally balanced to do so. That masculine and that feminine energy has been alchemized. Water and fire. What does water and fire do? It creates boiling water, and then gas, and the gas spreads. So I just feel like there's something having to do with your expansion. Had you not decided what you are going to do with what you had learned, with a sudden realization that had came to you not too long ago that you had to make a decision on. You did make a decision, rightfully so. You had to. It was time to make one. And you're now at a place where it's like, okay, how am I going to invest what I have learned now, these new beliefs, this new way of communicating, these new things, these things that I'm discovering? The last chapter of the Fool's Journey, where he's like, actively mastering his life, actively mastering the journey that he's just undertaken. So it's not the whole game. I mean, you didn't pass the whole game, but you pass in a level, and you're very close to the end here with the sun. You've found what truly ignites you. It's just like fire on fire. You found what truly ignites you. You're aware of it. I'm so glad that you guys, like, I can tell you guys are doing the work. You know how boring it would be to sit here in a cyclical fashion, reading karmic cycle after karmic cycle after karmic cycle, but you're not there. Commend yourself, pat yourself on the back, celebrate yourself somehow. A self care routine. I don't know, give yourself a nice Epsom salt bath, buy yourself some flowers, buy yourself a new dress, a new pair of shoes, if you can. And I don't give financial advice on here. Whatever this betrayal, because obviously the Three of Swords, we're going to talk about betrayal, but we won't give it much spotlight, because the only spotlight that it deserves is that it has emblazoned you like the phoenix rising from the ashes. Let's keep it moving, because I will just turn this into a 30-minute reading on these 4 cards. But I had a couple more questions I wanted to ask, and I'm going to move through all this fluff that I wanted to discuss. But I just came in here like my soul was ignited to talk about something with you guys. And it's because I realized how this has happened in my own life. And I thought back to that moment, and I was like, oh my God, I never even gave myself credit. I just kept going, pushing, going, going, going. That's all we know. We're like type A. I know my collective. We just keep going. We just keep going. Like the little engine that could. I think I can. I think I can. I think I can. I think. No matter if it takes decades. Honestly, I think that's really. I had a couple other things I wanted to go into. Oh, I just wanted to pull a couple. Yeah. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Okay, it's making sense now. Oh, I wanted to give you guys some questions, right, for you to think about, because I just want to get the water stirring within you, right? Because it's energy and motion. And when I communicate these ideas and they get into your brain and you take them in because you're consuming this content, it's going into your soul. I hope it's food for your soul. But these questions I want you to think about, what truth keeps returning no matter how many or how I may distract myself. So you may recognize that you're going back into old habits, old patterns, but there's something that underneath, like uh could use your attention, but it's elsewhere. So catch yourself in those moments, right? You don't have to do anything about it. Um where have you confused familiarity with alignment? And I feel like this is big one for us who feel like there's not a lot of individuals that can meet us at our emotional depth, and so then we cling to those relationships and those communities, right, where we feel like proximity equals intimacy or emotional depth, but it doesn't. So that proximity, where have you been confusing that with alignment? Is it truly in alignment with you being within these communities, being within these conversations, being within these relationships? Maybe you need to go grab something to eat because my tummy is going nuts right now. What's next? Oh, this one's good. Where am I asking permission rather than trusting myself? Am I asking somebody for permission? And who am I asking permission to? 1818 on the clock. That's 9-9 reflection. Yeah, so that's something we definitely need to be reflecting on. Okay. So the storm is still brewing. It's passing now, but knocked out the lights, it knocked out the internet, and my phone died. So we're back. And we left off on the reflective questions. Let's see, there's one. Okay. Where have I confused familiarity with alignment? Also, what part of my life feels heavier than it used to? So some of you will notice that there are certain tasks or events, certain responsibilities, certain things that you just feel like it's a heavier load than it used to be. Like it's just unnecessarily weighing you down. And that's something worth looking at. Why? Why is it this in particular? What about this? Oh, these are a couple good ones. I don't want to skip them. Where am I asking for permission instead of trusting myself? And what would I choose if certainty wasn't a requirement? That's a good one. And what part of me already knows the answer? So don't rush to the answer. Just notice like how the question makes you react, right? That's usually worth sitting with. What may you already be noticing internally? Tell me. Like you may feel emotionally tired for no reason during this season. Like old ambitions don't excite you. Yes, it's crazy because as I'm speaking, these things are coming out. You're becoming less interested in proving yourself, more interested in protecting your peace. 2:22 on the clock when I said that. Yeah, magician almost fell off the board. Was at the bottom? Oh, 2 of cups. So you want things to flow naturally. First one to come out was the emperor. Like you just keep showing up. Sexy beast. Then was the 5 of cups when I spoke about what was I speaking about? Becoming less interested in proving yourself. Yeah, there's like cups that you no longer care whether they're spilled or not. You're just like, whatever. Or there's another way of looking at this because, oh my God, the ground is shaking, guys. It's so close. This is crazy. I'm from Florida, so like I'm used to hurricanes, but this storm is hitting different. What was I saying about this? Okay. There's like a disconnect, right? So there's a misalignment. There's like streams of emotion that should be flowing inwards, like they should be flowing, but there's a misalignment. We were talking about that misalignment. There's a couple cups that you've been pouring into that just don't interest you anymore. That could be romantic, that could be platonic, that could just be creative projects. You're just not interested in doing that anymore. You don't feel fulfilled taking out the trash. Those are things that are unavoidable. And then what wanted to fall off the table was the magician. Yeah. Not only is he a magician, he's an acrobat. I don't even know why I had to sit with this at all because when I looked at it, the answer was obvious. You're in complete control. You're in complete control, right? You've got the world in your hands, your world, your existence, what that entails. And yeah, fuck yes, you notice 4:44 on the clock when I said that. Fuck yes, you notice that there are things that no longer fulfill you. And I believe that you did what you had to do in those circumstances. I mean, whatever that might have been, the emperor has to make some very hard decisions. Emperor has to make very hard decisions, decisions that the common person just never would even want to make. That's why heavy is the crown. So you might feel like this right now, like, damn, bro, it's lonely at the top. Heavy is the crown. And then we got the magician. I feel like you're manifesting. What? What we didn't see at the bottom here, you're manifesting a cup to pour into, conversations that fill you, creative projects that inspire you, that continue to, oh my God, I think I think this is all about creation. Oh my God, he's still going. Just connecting with people. I think you are seriously manifesting new connections, new creative projects. You're activating your flow state. And I think you've noticed. You might be creating things. I don't know, but I don't see a lot of wand action here for like these type of passionate projects, but it was in one of the most recent readings. So that's what you might be noticing internally is that inside I've gained control. I'm balanced. I'm ruling what happens in my kingdom. And that which doesn't fulfill me, I will not pour into. I know that my energy is magic. But it might be like this is not a good feeling. Like it might be exhausting. It might be draining you thinking about damn. Oh my gosh. 5 cups. Only two left. I invested so much into these 3 cups. Sometimes we focus on more so on what we're losing than what we've gained. And all the space. Yeah, this is what I wanted to touch on. All the space that we're creating for new to come in. Which brings me to my next point. What may the collective be noticing externally? What may the collective be noticing externally? Queen of Wands at the bottom of the deck. And I saw the Magician. Creating space, exactly what we were talking about. What are you that you insist, okay, you're at work. And we talked about having access to those 8 keys. You may be attracting 8 streams of income. You might be building these slowly but surely. You might just be working towards an eight 8 figure salary. Maybe more. I don't know. Is it 8 figures? 6 figures, 7 figures, 8 figures. Mm, okay. Touche, touche. This was at the bottom of the deck. Let me make sure I stay focused here. These were the first 2 cards out. That's the Page of Pentacles and the 9, 10 of Wands. Releasing those burdens so that you can make space for these new projects, the things you're curious about, new ways that you would like to invest your energy, your resources, your time, your attention, your work, your efforts. You're making space. And then here comes pretty little Miss Queen of Pentacles, all voluptuous. And when she shows up, it's letting me know that this may take some time, right? To get from the page to the queen. But you're literally a step before, like, before it shows, where you can actually look upon what you've invested in and be like, wow, oh my God, that's mine. I did that. Or you've already reached this spot where you can take a look back. And I encourage you, take a moment. Like I said, celebrate your wins. Celebrate yourself. I know this journey has not been easy. Clearing away old problems, shining a light on them, first of all, having the courage to, because a lot of people will just turn a blind eye, allow it to take place, allow it to continue. It's just too much work to change things, but not you. You got knocked down and you refuse to stay the fuck down. You refuse. It's like it's not within you. I don't know who you think you are, but you just keep getting up. You just keep getting up. Give me one last message. When you decide to step out of the feeling that you have to be distraught, moved even by the conflict that arrives, by the choices that you are making. 11:11 on the clock. It's almost as if I was waiting. No, I was blankly staring at the reflection of this card in the phone. It's like people contending you, battling you, coming up against you for no reason. For no reason. Just because of your choices. But I don't see that your choices are hurting anyone or oppressing anyone. If anything, you're liberating yourself. You're giving yourself space to grow, to expand. And I keep seeing the reflection of this. Okay, there's a message there. It's the reflection. There's an inner turmoil. What are you fighting within? Remember when we talked about that science experiment where it just takes one false to disprove whatever that statement is. Maybe you're not only disproving these ideas, but expanding, right? So, okay, that was the truth then. And this was how I behaved in accordance with that truth. But now the truth goes deeper. There's a deeper truth that I'm searching for, or that I have actually found and now have made a decision on how to proceed forward with this. And I'm okay that you're against it. I'm okay that you don't understand. I'm okay if you don't want to come along for the ride. You have your own journey, and I respect that. So let's get one more from the Shaman's Oracle, because this is my favorite. This is my favorite. She smells like night champa too. Oh wow, yo, this is kind of symbolism of like the magician, magic. That connection between the earth and the sky, that staff that connects the two. Mother, father, masculine, feminine, above as below. And then the beauty way, imagine the lotus flower. It grows at the bottom of a pond. So it has to literally work its way up through the mud at the bottom of the pond. Now, if you've ever tried to grab mud or dig it up or lift it, you know how dense and heavy mud is, how oppressive mud is, meant to keep you down. The lotus somehow manages to burst through a spot in the mud. It just keeps going and keeps going and keeps going, like the little engine that could, until it cracks the surface. And then it shoots up through the water of the pond. And when it reaches the top, it's still a bloody mess. It's ugly. It's covered in slime, pond slime. But if, you're able to witness someone lift the slime off of that lotus and watch it unfold, it's a beautiful sight to see. This is you. You are that lotus flower. Made it out the mud. Maybe one more from here. This deck is these decks feel extra big for me. I don't know if I'm shrinking here. Surrender to change. Oh my God. Thank you, bro. I just surrender to change. Look at you, cool guy. Sexy ass. You just chilling? Man, the flowers in your hair, the moon behind your head. It looks like a crown, like a halo. And you're looking towards the sky, towards opportunity, towards God, towards growth. Surrender to change, it says. Let's read what it says. Resistance creates suffering. Flow with transformation rather than against it. That's the story of the lotus. The story of the lotus. All right. I think that's it. I think that's the message. It's been such a pleasure. I'll see you guys soon.